they're doing this type of thing, and you're answering indictments and arraignments.
Well, it's incredible. I mean, it really is incredible. And I'm answering them not for that. I'm answering because I question an election. Not only question, I totally dispute that election. I think it's ridiculous what happened, and that they allowed that to happen, and that the media doesn't want anybody to talk about it. But now we can. And we did something yesterday. You know, now that we have the subpoena power, because we now have subpoena power, all of a sudden the J6 committee, the unselects, I call them, everything was deleted and destroyed. The documents, everything was deleted and destroyed. That's a criminal act. So all of that stuff, all of that nonsense you watched for a year and a half go on with all Democrats and two so-called Republicans, but they were worse than any of the Democrats, Kinzinger and Cheney. It's all been deleted and gotten rid of. They deleted it because they didn't want anybody to see it, because the real answers were there, but they didn't want to report it. That's incredible. And
everything Donald Trump said there is absolutely 100% false. And special counsel Jack Smith just laid Donald Trump out in a filing in the Washington, D.C. federal prosecution, exposing in court where evidence matters that Donald Trump is once again lying. We've been telling you here he's been lying about that. The January 6 documents are not destroyed. I'm Ben Meiselas from the Midas Touch Network, but this highlights something so important and why MAGA Republicans attack the court system over and over again, attack our judiciary where evidence and facts matter. Because what Donald Trump's plan is, spread a big lie like that. Just say, it's unfair. It's a witch hunt. The January 6th committee destroyed all of the records. They destroyed it, which is 100% false. First off, mostly all of what the January 6th committee gathered is online. It's publicly available. As Adam Kinzinger said when he responded to Fox, picking up these lies, amplifying the lies. Despite paying nearly $1 billion in a defamation settlement, Fox just perpetuates the lies in their competition with Newsmax, OAN, and all the other right-wing media companies. Here's what Adam Kinzinger wrote. By the way, committee records can be found at this repository. There's a website where you can look and find most of the records, and the highly sensitive classified ones were turned over by special counsel Jack Smith to Donald Trump and his lawyers in the Washington, D.C. federal case for Donald Trump's attempt to overthrow the results of the 2020 election immediately. Back in August, I don't know if you remember the videos that I did, but what I was saying back then is Donald Trump was refusing to enter into the protective order that special counsel Jack Smith was saying part of the documents we're ready to turn over are all the January 6th committee records. And it was millions of records. It was terabytes of records. And Jack Smith saying, we want to turn this over immediately. And Trump's lawyers were refusing to even accept the records while whining and lying publicly that those records were destroyed. Here's the type of things that Donald Trump posts on his social media platform. And then I'm going to show you Jack Smith's filing where, again, evidence matters, facts matter, and special counsel Jack Smith just slices right through it. But here was a post by Donald Trump. How do you have an indictment that is based on almost entirely on the findings of the January 6th unselect committee of Marxist, fascist, political hacks when these same lowlifes, Ukraine, blah, 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 Russia. Then it goes on to say, and that they purposely and illegally destroyed and deleted all of the evidence, findings, and proof of the January 6th committee. And then Elon Musk, through his bot farm on Twitter, which is now X, and all of these other social media platforms. And by the way, you saw Fox and OAN and Newsmax amplify this. Then these kind of bots like this account called Throw Out the Charges Against Trump, they then take that and they write things like, the committee destroyed the documents, so the charges must be bogus. To which I've said on the Midas Touch podcast, and I'll say again here to all the MAGA Republicans, like, do you all just enjoy being lied to over and over again? And when the lie is exposed to you, does it just not matter? Do you just simply not, do you enjoy being treated like you're just so utterly stupid by Donald Trump, someone who's lied his entire life? No, I mean, I'm being serious here. Do you enjoy that? Because it's so easy to disprove these things. By the way, here's Donald Trump's next post. Over and over and over again, he posts these things. The January 6th Unselect Committee got rid of everything. First off, they definitely didn't get rid of everything. Again, 4 terabytes of data. I mean, this is online. You can go and search it online. But let's take a look at Special Counsel Jack Smith's motion that he just filed regarding the discovery. And what Special Counsel Jack Smith says here, I'm going to read from you more, but this to me is kind of the key point. So Donald Trump then makes his lawyers, John Lauro and Todd Blanche, the lawyers representing him in the DC case, then basically file a motion. I mean, this is where it's so shameful what these lawyers are doing. They file this motion that tries to raise the conspiracy theory in court and basically says, look, we need these subpoenas under federal rule of criminal procedure because we need to get to the bottom of the fact that these January 6th records are destroyed. So Trump makes his lawyers prepare that motion, but the lawyers know they're lying. Like, they know that they have these records, or they're just simply not looking at the records, that Jack Smith's already turned over the records to them. So what the lawyers tried to do so that they could publicly put this motion forward, saying that there's a motion where they need to go after the destroyed records, so Donald Trump can then take it and then post it on his social media platform. Trump's lawyers put in a footnote what really is going on here to try to cover their own ass. And then Special Counsel Jack Smith calls it out here perfectly.
Oh, hey, when did you get here? Let's take a quick break to talk about our next partner, Henson Shaving. Look, everyone knows how annoying cheap razors are. The cuts, the irritation, the frustration. And don't get me started with subscription razor services, the headaches that those can cause. That's why you gotta meet Henson Shaving. Henson Shaving is a family-owned aerospace parts manufacturer that has made parts for the ISS. That's the International Space Station and Mars rover, and now they're bringing precision engineering to your shaving experience. Razor blades, they're like diving boards. The longer the board, the more wobble, the more nicks, cuts, and scrapes. A bad shave, it isn't a blade problem. It's an extension problem. By using aerospace-grade CNC machines, Henson makes metal razors that extend just 0.0013 inches, which is less than the thickness of human hair. That means a secure and stable blade with a vibration-free shave. It gets better. The razor has built-in channels to evacuate hair and cream, which makes clogging virtually impossible. Seriously, Henson Shaving wants the best razor, not the best razor business. That means no plastic, no subscriptions, no proprietary blades, and no obsolescence. The Henson razor, it works with standard dual edge blades to give you that old school shave with the benefit of new school tech. Once you own the Henson razor, it's only about $3 to $5 per year to replace the blades. My first shave with the Henson razor was incredibly refreshing. The design is sleek and the durability is top notch. The Henson razor is truly much better than your run-of-the-mill quote-unquote traditional razor brand. And the affordability factor is absolutely game-changing. No more wasting your money on expensive blades. With Henson Shaving, you get a year of blades for just $5. Okay, so here's what you have to do. It's time to say no to subscriptions and yes to a razor that'll last you a lifetime. Visit hensonshaving.com/Midas to pick the razor for you and use code Midas and you'll get 2 years worth of blades free with your razor. Just make sure to add them to your cart. That's 100 free blades when you head to hensonshaving.com/Midas and use code Midas. And now, back to the video.
Here's what Special Counsel Jack Smith says. In a footnote, the defendant, Donald Trump, admits that he, quote, has not reviewed the discovery in its entirety, but nonetheless claims, quote, a good faith belief that the discovery does not include the requested records. In other words, what Trump and his lawyers say is that in good faith, we believe that we never got the January 6th committee records, but we haven't reviewed all of the records yet. Again, if you're a MAGA Republican and watching this, do you enjoy being lied to? Do you enjoy being treated stupid because, like you're stupid? Because Donald Trump's lawyers here are saying they haven't even reviewed the discovery. They haven't looked at the documents, yet they are making this claim that they don't have the records. But as Special Counsel Jack Smith says, as the government has set forth in court, in pleadings and in discovery letters to defendant. During the course of its investigation, the government obtained and produced records from the Select Committee's investigation and from the Secret Service. As early as the August 11th, 2023 hearing on the protective order motion, the government advised the court and defendant that it obtained, quote, non-public items from the Select Committee, including transcripts of witness interviews. The government also described a large volume of material obtained from the Secret Service. That same day, the government made its first production of unclassified discovery, which included the sensitive, non-public transcripts that the defendant now claims are missing. In the cover letter accompanying that production, the government informed the defendant, Donald Trump, that the production included materials from the Select Committee, including inter alia, meaning among other things in Latin, including inter alia, transcripts of interviews and depositions, and accompanying exhibits provided by the House Select Committee, and that this production also includes transcripts of testimony provided by the House Select Committee and related exhibits that the government obtained from the United States Secret Service and the White House. A detailed source log appended to the cover letter identified each of the witnesses for whom transcripts had been produced, sorted in alphabetical order by last name, along with the Bates range, the document numbers, identifying the location of each witness's transcript in the production. In other words, Special Counsel Jack Smith dummy-proofed this for Donald Trump, made it easy as can be to review these records. Jack Smith goes on to say, prior to filing the present motion, the defendant did not seek additional information or clarification regarding the government's production of these materials, nor did he ask whether the production included sensitive, non-public Select Committee interview transcripts that he now seeks, which it did. Had he done so, the government would have directed him to the relevant discovery production that obviate the need for his proposed subpoenas. You don't get much more scathing than that. Special Counsel Jack Smith saying, we dummy-proof this for him, and they are still whining to Your Honor about subpoenas. Had they even called our office, we put it in alphabetical order for them. But had they simply wanted to ask us, had they gone through the basic process of just even asking us, hey, did you produce this? We would have told them exactly where it is. But of course, we know what really is going on here. And this is where I take major issue with Donald Trump's lawyer. I've said this before on the Midas Touch Network. I understand that every criminal defendant is entitled under the Sixth Amendment and other constitutional rights to have competent defense counsel. And I don't fault criminal defense lawyers for representing people accused of crimes, even Donald Trump. And there are a lot of lawyers for Trump who I don't criticize here on the Midas Touch Network intentionally. But where you are like John Lauro and Todd Blanche, these are smart people who know better, and you are purposefully drafting motions, in my opinion, they are doing it in bad faith, to be used as Donald Trump as propaganda to undermine our democracy and to sow the seeds of disinformation and propaganda to say that the January 6th committee destroyed records and that Jack Smith didn't turn it over when Special Counsel Jack Smith not only turned it over, but turned it over right away, put it in an alphabetical order, made it so easy to review. And then you do a little footnote like Trump's lawyers do and say, well, we haven't really reviewed all of the records yet. But to make those allegations and to divide our country, as I've said, folks, this shouldn't be political. This shouldn't be political. It's not like, oh, this is a leftist view that you have here, Ben, that evidence matters. This should be nonpartisan and non-political. No matter what political party, you should be saying, did or did not Jack Smith turn the records over? We need to be focused on objective facts. Did you turn it over, Jack Smith? Yes, I turned it over. So, Trump, why are you saying that he didn't turn it over? Oh, you're lying? And if that's the case, I guess, I don't know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, Shame on me. Shame. You fool the person twice over and over again. If you keep being fooled over and over again, what I sound like George W. Bush, when you keep being fooled over and over and over again, don't you have any self-respect? You just like being lied to. And you see Special Counsel Jackson, we turned it over. And that's not like a minor lie by Donald Trump. You're accusing the January 6th committee of destroying the files, that most of them exist online and the others have already been turned over. Shameful, shameful stuff, but a great motion by Special Counsel Jack Smith. I'm Ben Meiselas from the Midas Touch Network. Hit subscribe. We are on our way to 2 million subscribers thanks to you.